Good morning, Winnipeg. We're back, and it's the morning after our Stanley Cup final loss. The press conference last night was brutal, and the locker room and the plane ride home were both dead silent. Everyone is very, very disappointed in how our season ended in that Game 6. So the first thing we were going to look at was the emails. Nothing new there. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all those. And I wanted to have a quick summary of just how the league finished up overall. McDavid and Draisaitl led the league in points. Matthews and Robertson were first in goals and assists. McDavid with 93 assists. That is an amazing season. And then as far as the goalies go, Hellebuck really did pull through for us. First in save percentage and goals against, and 41 wins out of 47. That's pretty solid. Hopefully he can win that Vezina, especially with the fact we made it all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. That puts him over the edge for that award. And the next thing I wanted to look at was our salary and contract situation. Nikolai Ehlers, I know for a fact I'm going to re-sign. Velarde, I'm probably going to let him go. And Radek Faksa, I do want to re-sign as that third-line center. Everyone else here in the forward core probably release and possibly re-sign in free agency. Neil Pionk, he had a very good season for us, but his contract that he wants is just way too much. 5 years, $7 million. I am not willing to pay him that much. So if we can re-sign him in free agency, that would be good, but I am not bringing him back. And as far as the minor league salaries go, I would like to re-sign Chaz Lucius there, Dmitry Kuzmin, and Brad Lambert. As far as the other salaries go, these expiring contracts, possibly we could trade them away or just let them walk. I would like to get some more draft picks because all we have is the 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 7th, and the fact that we were in the Stanley Cup final, that is going to be way, way far back in the draft. So we'll see what happens, and I will sim ahead one more day and bring it back for the re-sign stage. So here we are, and it is Wednesday, June 18th. The first thing I'm going to do actually is bring up these players that I want. Chaz Lucius to the NHL, and Brad Lambert to the NHL, and Dmitry Kuzmin to the NHL. Nikita Chibrikov is okay. He still has 2 years left. Same with some of these other players. The goalie, the Salomonson, he can stay down there. He's only 20 years old, but he has 2 years left. They do not have anyone injured, and neither do we. Scheifele is, but he's not on the injury list. So let's go ahead and see who we actually want to re-sign. And we're going to start with Nikolai Ehlers' contract. 6 years at $8 million. Let's go ahead and see if we can go down just to 8, if he'll accept. Actually, let's go to like 7.8 there. See if he'll take that. He wants 7.9. Let's go up to 7.9 and we'll see. All right, we will submit that 7.9 million times 6-year offer. In terms of salaries, our top salaries are 8.5. We don't want to go higher than 8.5 because these are the leaders of our team. Scheifele, a possible future captain once Adam Lowry leaves in a couple years. So we want to stay below that threshold. And Nikolai Ehlers, Radek Faksa, what contract does he want? 2 years at 3.6. Let's try to go like about 3.3. 2 years at 3.3 million for Radek Faksa. And he says no. Let's go up to 3.5. 2 years at 3.5. Still no. That extra 10,000. He was really very adamant about that. And we will try to re-sign Faksa at 2 years, 3.5 million. As far as the next one, Chaz Lucius. Now, he hasn't fully developed, so we might be able to get away. He only wants 3 at 1.5, so we might try to do a 2-way contract just to see if we can send him back down for a few more years of development. So we're going to lower down to 1.4 and increase by 100K the minor league salary and see if he will take that. And that is a no. So it looks like we're just going to meet the demand and ask for a response. And we will submit the offer at 3 years, 1.43 for Chaz Lucius. The next player, Brad Lambert. Again, we're going to try a two-way deal. He wants 3 years at 1.5 as well. Oops, meet demand. 2 years at 1.5. We will leave it at 1.5, but we're going to give him an extra 100,000 for a minor league just to try to entice him so he can go back down to the minor leagues for another year. And he will accept that, or we will submit. Hopefully he accepts that. And the last one, 22-year-old Dmitry Kuzmin. Again, 3 years at $1 million. So we will try to give him an extra 100,000 to send him back down on a two-way deal, and we will submit that. It looks like hopefully he will accept. So let's go ahead and sim up until they decide to sign with us, and then we'll go from there. And we're back the next day. It looks like they have all accepted. Radek Fexa, Ehlers, Lambert, Lucius, Kuzmin, and there was a trade. Okay, that's an okay trade for them, I guess. Don't really know. And Chaz Lucius will not be getting number 11. You can have number 8, and he's happy about that. And Dmitry Kuzmin wants number 79. He's happy about that. And we're going to go ahead and delete these emails. Nothing else too important. Now the players, I will send down that we don't want to. So we re-sign them. Brad Lambert. So Neil Pionk, we're going to send him down to the minors just so I can clean up our roster a little bit. Nemesnikov, Zach Aston Reese. We'll probably just go ahead and re-sign these players in free agency if we can't find anyone else better. Whoop, no movement clause. Okay, Brandstrom, I believe no movement. Yes, so we'll just leave them. Gabe Velarde, what kind of contract does he want? I might be able to find someone better. 3 years at 4.5. No, we're going to go ahead and send him down, let him go to free agency. Could probably get a starting role somewhere else. And same with Jack Studnicka. Thank you for your service, but you can join another team. So there we are. We kind of cleaned up the roster a little bit. So we'll look at the cap here and see what we have. Noel Gunler, can't go, and Brandstrom. So there we go. It says for next year we're going to have 18.5 million worth of salary cap. Whoops, didn't want to do that. So let's go to salary and look at possibly who we could trade away. Let's start with Neil Pionk. Can we shop now? We can. So let's see. We only want draft picks. I don't really want other players. So he's worth a 3rd round pick, it looks like. So let's just send him to the Eastern Conference. Let's accept this. Hopefully he goes to free agency. I seriously doubt I want to sign him. There are other players I want to scout before him to re-sign, so I'm going to go ahead and trade him to the Panthers. The first of many trades. So we're back here. Jake McCabe, I know for a fact I do not want you, so let's go ahead and shop you for draft picks and see what comes up. A bunch of 6th round picks here. So again, just go back to the other conference, to the East, and you can go to Washington with Ovechkin. Thank you for your service, but you can go be a starter somewhere else. And now we have 2 3rd round picks. So we're going to go ahead and sim one more day. We're back here on the salary screen, so let's keep trading away players we don't want. Daniil Torgeson, is he decent? He is. He might be worth trading away. So we'll shop Daniil Torgeson and possibly some of these one other player that we're not going to need here. Let's go by potential. Hayden Fleury. We'll shop them for draft picks and see if we can get anything for them. A 5th and a 7th. It looks like just a 5th or just maybe a 4th. Nope. All right. So we're going to go ahead and send them to Tampa Bay. Thank you for your service. And from this screen, we will send away. Yeah, we'll do Simon Lundmark. Actually, no. Let's go back to the finance screen and make sure we do the right ones. So Henry Nikkinen, 24 defensive. Yes, we will get him away, and Parker Ford. Let's go ahead and shop Parker Ford. And then we will see, sort by position, Henry Nikkinen for draft picks. We're going to try to load up in year number 1, I suppose. 2 5th-round picks to the, well, a 26th, so next year's, and then 3 years from now, but we'll take that 2 5th to the Tampa Bay Lightning for next year. So we're going to go ahead and sim one more day. And we are back on the salary screen. Rasmus Kupari, pretty decent player. We might be able to get something for him. Rasmus Kupari and Axel Johnson Fialbi. Pretty decent players, 27. Should be able to get a good pick for him. So Rasmus Kupari and Axel on the left wing there. Here we are. And we're going to go for draft picks again. Cleaning house. A 7th and a 6th for this year, and a 7th and a 6th. So we're just going to take those 7th and 6th from the Carolina Hurricanes. And again, back to the salary. Let's see who, Mason Shaw, he was a pretty good player. Yep, someone's going to take Mason Shaw, 26 years old. And we'll just throw in another player who has a low rating to shop. Sort by potential. Let's do Mason Shaw. Well, nope, he is the one we're doing. Dominic, a goalie. No, I don't want to do a goalie. Whoops. Mason Shaw and I keep messing this up. And let's do Simon Lundmark. See if we can, what kind of draft pick we can get there. 5th and 7th, 5th, 7th, 5th and 7th. To the east, the New York Islanders look good. And I'm just going to go ahead and make all these trades, and I will bring it back with the trade emails to show you how we did. We're back. It is Sunday, June 29th. We are at the award ceremony, but first we did have some trades, and we traded away Bauer and Zilkin for a 4th and a 6th to the Kings. There was a trade between Tampa and Anaheim. Daniil Pelyenkov for a 4th. We have the free agency preview. And there was another trade. We traded Gabe Vilardi for a 3rd-round pick of this year to the Flyers. That was the big one. But we're going to see if they re-signed him or not. And they did not, so we might be able to actually re-sign him in free agency. And another trade here. Nico Huuttinen for a 4th. And everything else is not really too important, so we're just going to go ahead and delete those and jump into the award ceremony. The Hart is probably, well, either, I'm not sure. Let's see. Ooh, McDavid over Matthews. Okay, the Conn Smythe. Who, Matthews? Morgan Riley, the Conn Smythe. 24 and 22, a +9. Wow. The Calder. Logan Stankoven, 52 and 76. The Norris. Shea Theodore, 71 points, a +25. Wow. The Selke. Radek Faxer with a Selke win, and we re-signed him. That's huge. Nice. That was definitely worth that contract. And now the big one. Who's going to win this Vezina? Anderson, Hellebuck, or Bobrovsky? Connor Hellebuck with a Vezina trophy. That Stanley Cup final really pushed him over the edge. That is nice. And I believe that's 2 Vezina trophies, possibly back-to-back. The Executive of the Year, Kyle Davidson in Chicago, the Jack Adams, Luke Richardson in Chicago. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of that. Matthews, we saw these, the Art Ross, McDavid, Barbashev, plus-minus. What was his plus-minus? +61. Wow. Almost his plus-minus was nearly as high as his points. Anderson with the Jennings. And Jack Hughes wins the Lady Byng. Ovechkin with the Bill Masterton. Mario Ferraro with the Messier. Ted Lindsay goes to McDavid. The 25 All-Stars. Connor Hellebuck, first-team All-Star. That's why he won that Vezina. And the All-Rookie team, nothing for us. McDavid, Hart. Conn Smythe to Morgan Riley. Yep, Stankoven wins the Calder. The Norris was Shea Theodore. The Selke to Radek Faxa. Hellebuck with that Vezina trophy. And the Executive of the Year, Davidson. And Jack Adams to Luke Richardson. So that pretty much completes our season. Let's check Connor Hellebuck, a two-time Vezina Trophy winner. What was this one? Yeah, it was way back in 1920. Wow, I thought it was last year. Okay. But that pretty much completes. If you look at our obligations, we have everyone signed that we really want to sign. I tried to trade Nemesnikov, but no one wanted him. So he was good for us this year, but he's really fallen off. 32 at however much money that is, not doing. At $2 million, not worth it. So all of these other players, I wasn't going to trade. So that concludes our first season of 24-25. Let's go to the July 1st. And we're back. It's Monday, June 30th. Here's the season score. Financial health bonus +1. I forgot to even look at that. I'll show you quick. Reached the playoffs, winning season 600. Didn't win the championship. Wasn't the manager of the year. So we have these 7 points. I will put it into negotiating skill. And the tactics I employ, I will do that. And then training. And let's see. We're not really going to have too many prospects, so we'll put the last two into our forwards and defensive coaching. Staff, I'm not overly worried about. I'll re-sign them. To be honest, I completely forgot about them. And let's have a look at our finances quick. We end the season with 1,000 points. If you look at the summary, we began with 430 and we are going to end with over 1,000. So that was a very healthy season for us financially. So now we will go to the July 1st. So here we are. It's Tuesday, July 1st, day one of the new season. We're going to have a look at all of these emails and a lot of retiring. Nicholas Backstrom retires. Eller, Giordano, Ryan Ellis, Nick Dowd. Our player development. Everyone went down. Top selling jerseys. Nikolai Ehlers 4th and Hellebuck 14th. Nice. Let's go ahead and keep scrolling up and checking out these emails. Coaches fired. Everyone hired. Click breaks up. That's good. A lot of those players probably left, but we will have to have a look at that. Here we go. New broadcast deal for the Jets, of course, after we just lost in the finals. Owner update. The fans are thrilled. No need to worry. Good. And anything else here? No. So we're just going to go ahead and delete all those. Nothing overly important. And let's start with our budget. We're going to keep the scouting up there. We're going to leave morale, but we are just going to go here to save some points, because we don't really need the attendance now. The annual salary, the salary cap is still at 88 million. So we are going to go back to 86 and save another 48 points. Raise the normal marketing, normal maintenance. No change to the ticket prices yet. So we're just going to get back up above 500 points. And the monthly was done, so that's good. And let's have a look at the staff. We have $1.8 million for the staff, so we're going to go ahead and find a goalie coach, and I will bring that back when we're done. We did hire Mike Brodeur as our goalie coach. Coaching goalies is great. I'm not too worried about their prospects because Connor Hellebuck still has that 6 years left to go. So we'll see if we can, and we have 1.75 million. We're going to go see if we can find another coach or two, maybe a skills coach. Mike Keane is a bit overstretched right there. I actually went through the scouting. I didn't see any new scouts, so we're just going to go here. The year 2 draft shouldn't be too bad. So I'm not really going to hire any scouts. I didn't see any that I liked. Our scouting is really going to take a hit outside of Manitoba. But we're going to go back to the staff and see. We still have that 1.75 million. So we're going to go see if we can find any really good coaches here. Probably a skills coach. We're back here looking at the possible coaches. I have not filtered anything, as you can see, GM and head coach, because we have so much money. We should be able to hire one pretty good coach, even at like 1.5 million a year. So we're gonna go ahead and sort by coaching prospects and physical training right here. General manager Ryas Chumichiov. So let's see what we're dealing with here. See, 1 year or 3 years, 700K. So we'll go ahead and hire Ryas Chumichiov. and we are going to set him as our skills coach. And we went from very good to excellent, excellent. And we still have $1 million. So, and our defensive coach, coaching defenders, prospects, defensive training, we're going to leave William Nicholas in. But very good, and Mike Keene's just kind of overall very good there. But we're going to see if we can find a brand new offensive coach. And we're back here, gonna try to find our new offensive coach for the next, hopefully 3 to 4 years, or possibly even more. Coaching. So now we get to sort through all of these. But you know what? Actually, we can do this a better way. Coaching forwards. Put that up to. Let's start with about 16. Coaching prospects. 16. Offensive skills. 16. See what we get. Here we go. Great, excellent, great. So excellent, excellent, great. That might be the best one. Everything else is, yeah. Let's see, General Manager Daniel Hankkinen as the assistant coach. He only wants 3 years, $500,000. We're going to do that. So we go back. Daniel Hankkinen is the new offensive coach, and we have just upgraded mightily. And it was only $500,000, and we still only have $500,000. Left. And scouting, is there any tournaments in July? I don't believe so. And so with that, our salary, Dmitry Kuzmin, Barlow, I'm going to send down to the AHL. Wagner, I know I do not want you. You can go to the AHL. Jaeger to the AHL. And Lambert to the AHL. And let's have a look at our lines to see kind of what gaps we have to fill in. Dmitry Kuzmin, I am going to send him down because he is not ready for the NHL yet. Chaz Lucius, I think he is now ready to play in the NHL after last year. But we are going to look at this Harmony, what happened. I will try to intervene in this click. Hopefully it does not backfire on me. And nothing really happened. So still got 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It's going to be rough. Let's go back to finances, our salary obligations. Anyone that we wanted to. Gustafson, no. Kuzman. Jared Anderson, Dolan, no thank you. Alright, yep, everything's good there. I'm kind of going all over right now, but the lines, yes. So, Comrie's there, yes. Connor Hellebuck, Morrissey, Peak, Carlo, John Klingberg, yep. And then, okay. So it's not too bad. How much money do we have? Let's go back to the cap. We have $29.5 million. Wait, oh, that was with the 10. So our budget is at 86. So we have about $16 to $17 million to spend here on free agents. We don't really need too much. Chaz Lucius could actually go on that third or second line right wing. Let's just go ahead and dress and plug him in right there on the right wing. And we'll go see who some of these free agents are. Sort by potential. Maybe not. So looks like Frank Vetrano on that right wing, the best player available. We might be able to sign him, put him on that wing. Neil Pionk, has he changed what he wanted? 3 years at 5.8. That might be doable. He only wants 3 years now as well. And I believe there's a better way to even look at this screen. But I gotta find it first. Salary transactions. Here we go. Free agent center. This is a much better way to look at the screen. So I know we need defensemen. I have 2 that I actually do want to target. If I can find them. I might just have to search them by name. Yanni Hakanpää is one that I was really looking at right here. Yanni Hakanpää as a defensive player. Let's see if we can sign him. I know I want him. He's relatively cheap. Yep, 2 years, 1.4. They say it's a bad contract, but we're going to load up defensively again. It worked pretty well for us last time. Ask for a response? No. Let's just meet your demand. That's not too bad. So go ahead and submit that. That was 1. So if we go back to the lines, hack and paw, peak. So offense, defense, hack and paw defense, peak defense. We could use a two-way defenseman. So let's go back and see if we can find someone kind of like that here. Defenseman, Neil Pionk, Oli Mata, Oliver Shillington, Orlov. Anyone really scouted? Neil Pionk, Oli Mata, is he offensive? No, definitely not. Dmitry Orlov, I don't believe. Oh, he is. He's 33, 5'11", 214. What kind of contract does Orlov want? And he plays on the left side, which is good. 3 years at 5.8. No. What else? Let's go back with Zach Aston Reese there. See if we can find Zach Aston Reese. Forwards, pretty lowly rated. He was back up here somewhere, I think. Right here. What kind of has he fallen off? His defensive read is down to a 15. Let's go to the other free agent way of looking at it to see if we can filter anything. We're going to go to the defensemen, or forwards, excuse me. But we're going to go with the defensive ratings of at least 16. Defensive read, at least 16. Checking, 16. And we'll just start there and see who we got for forwards. Jesper Fast. That could work. How long is... He's injured 1 to 2 months. Herniated disc. Matt Nieto, injured as well. You know what? Zach Aston Reese might be good enough. Perhaps maybe like a 1-year deal. But we'll see kind of what he wants. We do have the money to spend. Offer contract. What does he want? 3 years at 2.6. Can we go to like 2.4? Nope. Let's go up to 2.5 and hopefully he'll go for that. Yep. So there we go. So we'll plug Zach Aston Reese in back on that left wing. We will plug in Dmitry Orlov there and Yanni Hakanpää there, and perhaps a second line right wing. We do have a lot of money available. Cap hit is only 4 million. So let's go back to forwards. Do we go after Frank Vetrano on the right? What kind of contract does he want? 2 years at 5.6. That will work. Let's see if we can go down to like 5 years at 4.5. If he'll take that. And he will not. He wants 4.6. We'll meet that demand and submit. And with that, Chaz Lucius can play the third line wing, and Frank Vetrano can go to the second line wing. And that should pretty much complete our team. We are already above the minimum salary, and we have our team. The defense was good, so we don't want to make too many changes there. And there's no emails, we're just going to delete those. So we will go ahead and sim one more day and see what happens. So here we are, we've simulated ahead to the second, and we do have emails to go through here. Shifley ready, contract updates, Eichel dumps agent, Calgary Buffalo, Samuel Hanzik for Alex Tuck, the Leafs and the Flames, Ben Danford for Ryan Lomberg, Topi Roney, Boston, New York, Jeffrey Veal, Sam Carrick, Vegas and San Jose, Samsonov gets traded for Luke Cagnoni and a 6th. And San Jose adds Brendan Gallagher for Romanov. And Detroit, Minnesota, Ben Jones and Sheldon Reese. Let's go back and check. I did actually forget to shop and try to trade Henrique, which would have freed up more cap space. But for now, he's actually not too bad. I'll have to look and see who the centers are who are available. We might actually stick with him for just one more year. And let's go ahead and do that right now. Nick Bjugstad, Pius Suter, Jesper Bachfist. Nope. So it looks like we will not be trading Adam Henrique. There's no one available that I would want to trade for. Let's go ahead. Can we sort by active? No. So Aston Reese wants our contract. Vetrano wants our contract. And Yanni Heckenpah wants our contract. So actually, let's try and shop Adam Henrique to see if we can just anything that we can get for him. Kulak, 6th and a forward defenseman, 6. No, nothing good. So yeah, we're just going to keep Adam Henrique. And he should be good enough for just one more year shooting accuracy. And that he still has a 16 faceoff, so he is above average. So we will keep him for one more year. And let's go ahead and sim one more day. And we're back on the next day, July 3rd. Here's a big trade, Luke Evangelista to Kevin Stenlund. Excuse me. Utah and Nashville, Luke Evangelista and Sutter Muzzati. That's a cool name. Sutter Muzzati. Alright. And nothing there. Nothing there. So we're going to go ahead actually and just go to the draft announcement. And we'll look and see who wins the draft lottery. We're back. Emails. Shifley back. Vegas Buffalo trade. Christopher Seedoff. Joseph Labat. And that's about it for these kind of emails. Alright, draft lottery. Who's going to win? Pittsburgh, Calgary, Philly, Vancouver, Montreal, St. Louis, no movement yet. Minnesota, Ottawa, the Sabres, no movement yet. And the Canadians go from 6th back to 7th. So we do have movement. That means we're going to have a new first overall pick. And Nashville goes from 5th to 6th. The Islanders go from 4th to 5th. 3rd to 4th for Tampa. And Columbus from 2nd to 3rd. Maybe it won't change. Oh, the Flyers keep their first pick. And the Ducks go from 4th up to 2nd. And the Flyers keep their first overall pick. That's good for them. This is the overall draft order. We have the 31st pick and the 60th pick, amongst several other later round draft picks. We're going to go ahead and see how the transactions are looking for us. Still the favorites. Yep, still the favorites. So let's go to the draft. So here we are on draft day. More emails to go through. Bunch of trades. Shifley ready, yes. Boston, New York, Philip Hedl, and Charlie Coyle. And a few prospects and draft picks. Vancouver and Utah, Juuso Valimaki. Casey Middlestat and Oliver Bonk between Philly and Colorado. San Jose, Chicago. Casper Haltunen and Jason Dickinson. Boston, Chicago. Taylor Hall and Stellars traded. Wow. This is probably the biggest deal we've seen. Yaroslav Askarov for Nico Hischier. Askarov to New Jersey, and the New Jersey Devils trade away Nico Hischier to the San Jose Sharks. Wow. That is the biggest trade we've seen yet, I think. Bruins, Flyers, nothing. Vegas, Columbus, nothing really. Sharks, Maple Leafs, nothing really. Ivan Fedotov for Jones, nothing. And nothing email. So let's go to the draft. Here we are. We're going to go through this pretty slowly. The draft order. We had the 31st pick. Yep. Ivan Ryab. We were targeting him, but I don't think we're going to trade up. We only have one first, one second. So we're just going to pick until human, and we will go through and see what the draft order was. And first overall was James Higgins, Michael Misa, Spence, Schaefer, Martone, Rechny, Gavin, Martin Smith, Bruce Stekowitz, Logan Hensler, and 11th. Emile Gautier, Cameron Schmidt, Hamilton Moore, Desnoyers, Bennick. Oh, Ivan Ryabkin went to the Chicago Blackhawks. We wanted him, but then the breaks. And then Bame, Fiddler, O'Brien, Trethaway, Wong, Frundell, Young, Gibbons, Grozinski, Pohl, Martin, and Zada. So here we are. We're not taking a goalie, that's for sure. Who is this? Boumediene? He should be pretty decent. Let's go ahead and actually... I do have the Fog of War on. He had 75 penalty minutes. Definitely not a minus player, only 23 points. No. Victor Eklund. He could be okay for us. 31 points, 51 games. 58 and 65, but 121 penalty minutes. Definitely not. And so this doesn't take too long. I will go through, find the player that I want, and I will bring him back for the draft. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NHL Draft, the Winnipeg Jets will select Owen Conrad from the Charlotte Islanders of the QMJHL, a left defenseman, 18 years old. And we'll bring it back for the next pick. We're back with the 60th overall pick. The Winnipeg Jets will select Jack Nesbitt from the Windsor Spitfires of the OHL, a center, 18 years old, 6'4", 197 pounds. With the 78th pick in the draft, the Winnipeg Jets select Matthew Soto from the Kingston Frontenacs of the OHL, a 19-year-old right-wing center sniper. With the 116th pick, the Winnipeg Jets select Justin Carbonneau from Blainville Boisbriand Armada. With the 151st pick, the Winnipeg Jets select Christopher Brown from the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds of the OHL. With the 159th pick in the draft, the Winnipeg Jets select Gavin Hodnett from the Edmonton Oil Kings. With the 189th pick, the Winnipeg Jets select Diego Butazzoni from the Portland Winterhawks. And with the final pick in this year's draft, the Winnipeg Jets select Tumas Suoniemi from the Kiko Espoo Under-20 team. I was wrong, there's 224 picks in this year's in the draft. I apologize for that. With the 120th pick, the Winnipeg Jets will select Adam Tilbeth from the Vancouver Giants. With the 223rd pick in this year's draft, the Winnipeg Jets will select Jack Baruti from the Niagara Ice Dogs. And that will conclude this year's draft, so we will continue and see what happened. The draft review, the best draft was the Carolina Hurricanes, the Rangers, the Oilers. The worst draft was the Islanders, Flyers, and the Ducks. That's interesting. The Flyers had the first overall pick and had one of the worst drafts. So let's go ahead and look at our unsigned prospects. We're not going to sign any of these players, but pretty solid for the late round picks that we had. And we're going to go ahead and look at the scouting to see if there's anyone on the watch list that we would like to sign this. Ivan Ryabkin, we did not pick him. Unfortunately, I would have liked to get him, but this guy, this Marcus Vidicek, 21, 5'10", we'll leave him alone. We might not sign him right now. Let's just have a look. H. Thornton. We could sign him to a contract just to see those offensive numbers for a defenseman are pretty good. So let's go ahead and do that. Hudson Thornton. Put him in the AHL, see what he wants. Yep. 2 years at $775. We're going to go ahead and look at the transaction log to see if they are still interested. And yes, all three, Hackenpah, Frank Vetrano, and Aston Reese, are still willing to come play here in Winnipeg. So we will sim ahead up until we get those players signed. And it's the very next day. It's Monday, July 7th, and Zach Aston Reese has signed, Frank Vetrano has signed, Yanni Hackenpah has signed, and Hudson Thornton is still thinking, but I'm sure he will at some point sign with us. So we're going to go ahead and reinsert these players back into the lineup. The Thornton might actually be able to go there and play. His stats are decent enough. He could be that third pairing defenseman. Let's go ahead and see what he thinks. Yeah, Hudson Thornton, he can go on the left. He could be that defenseman. He's only 21 years old, but with that offensive read, the passing and puck handling, he'll be good enough behind Morrissey and Klingberg. He won't get a very heavy workload, so that'll be all right. And we're going to go ahead and sim again to August 1st. And here we are back on Friday, July 11th. I was not even tracking this achievement, but sign a player born in the city your team plays in. So we did sign someone from Winnipeg. I'm guessing it was that Hudson Thornton. I'm guessing that's who that was. Let's go see. Owner goal completed. Nice. So Hudson Thornton. Bio. Yep, from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Well, it says, yep, right there. Nice. I didn't even realize that, but that'll work for us. And he's going to start on this team, so that's even better. He can have number 4, and he seems fine. Good. So we'll go ahead and insert him into the lineup. Hudson Thornton. There we go. And we're going to put Frank Vetrano down here as the 4th shootout player. And that is our 20-man roster. Our salary is only $77 million, so we do have about probably $8 or $9 million. We'll see if there's any free agents, low free agents we want to pick up. Neil Pionk's still there. What contract does he want? Nope, still not. Anyone else good? Steven Lorenz. He won the Stanley Cup last year. I remember that name. Pretty good. Probably more like a two-way forward, but yep, everything else is good here. Let's sort by the potential. Nope, no one. Malcolm Subban, Charlie Lindgren, Bjugstad, Scott Mayfield. That is a very good defensive player. Let's see what kind of contract he wants. Scott Mayfield. We do have a lot of money, so 2 years, 2.2. Should we try to sign Scott Mayfield? The problem is we have Peak, Hackenpah, and Carlo to hold it down defensively with these 4 forwards here. And our penalty kill was 2nd in the league last year. Our defense was solid. Do we have enough offense between our forwards and Klingberg, Thornton, and Morrissey to produce the goals in order to sign a player like Scott Mayfield and put him in there for that 2-year contract? So let's go. The last day to sign players, I believe, is August 31st. So we'll let that one go, and we'll go ahead and sim to August 1st. So here we are back on August 1st, and we do have some emails to look at. Marcus Foligno for a 7th. Nothing there. Michael Rabel, that's a good goalie. I remember him from the last version of the game. Trade between New Jersey and Edmonton. Matt McKenzie for a 7th. New Jersey and Nashville. Dylan Went. And the top-selling jersey, of course, is Connor Hellebuck. Frank Vetrano inserted there at 2nd. So let's have a look at our development report. And the only thing is Adam Lowry loses shooting range and positioning. Best-selling jerseys for July. Connor Hellebuck up there in 3rd. Frank Vetrano in 20th. Nice. So we will end it there. The one thing I am wondering about from the fans of Winnipeg is whether we sign that defenseman if he is still available. And who was Scott Mayfield? He is still available. He does want a very small contract, 3 years at 1.6. So we can't wait too much longer. Someone might try to take him with that one, with that size contract. But we'll leave the monthly budget and the scouting for next time, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, Winnipeg, we are back, and it's still Friday, August 1st, and I have made a choice. I am going to send this Hudson Thornton down, and we are going to try and sign Scott Mayfield. So we're just going to go ahead and do this right now, even though we will be very heavily defensive, but it did work. And let's see what we have, what we can sign him for. See if we can go down to 1.5. See if he'll take that. Nope. 1.6. Let's go to 1.6. And we will submit this offer, 3 years at 1.6, to Scott Mayfield. I will assign the scouts here. I believe we have some tournaments, and we do. Again, we have the prospects, so I'm going to send this head scout to the prospects and this other scout to the Hinka Gretzky. The reason I did not sign any more scouts, if anyone is wondering, is because when I went through At this point, I only want these scouts who are both excellent to build for the future. And if we go through, there's really nothing, no scouts fit that double excellent stat. So I'm just going to go with what we have. Our priorities, that's okay, I'm not worried about that right now. So again, our 2 tournaments. We will go through the finances, still nothing there. Morale is happy, scouting. Let's look at the harmony. And it has some issues. I'm gonna try to intervene here and hopefully nothing else bad happens. And that was a good one. The click disappeared, so we got lucky that nothing bad happened. Josh Morrissey never pissed off anyone else, so that's good. And the click breaks up. So hopefully at the beginning of the next season that will have a less of an impact. And as you can see, most of our team is happy now. Brendan Carlo and Eric Comrie are the only unhappy ones, which is fine with me. The Hall of Fame induction. Let's see who made the Hall of Fame. Patrick Eliash, that was the one we nominated and voted for. Joe Thornton, we did not vote for him, but good for him. Zdeno Chara, we did not vote for him, but good for him. And Curtis Joseph, we did not vote for him, and good for him. So there are your 4 Hockey Hall of Fame members on August 1st, 2025. And with that, we're going to go ahead and just sim to September 1st and see what happens. Here we are. It's only been one day. It's August 2nd, and Scott Mayfield has signed a contract at 3 years at 1.6. The youth movement, not too worried about right now, maybe in a couple years. So we are going to send Hudson Thornton down to the AHL. That was Yanni Hackenpah. Thornton to the AHL. There we go. And insert Scott Mayfield. He is a right defenseman, but we'll go ahead and see Brendan Carlos on the right. Yanni Hackenpah could play on the left. We'll switch Hackenpah and Mayfield. They're basically the same kind of player. And with that, we'll go to September 1st. We're back here Sunday, August 31st. We do have some emails to go through, some trades. Nico Dawes, New Jersey and Anaheim. Nico Dawes for Ryan Strome. Shane Bowers, 6th between New Jersey, Pittsburgh. New Jersey, Washington. Mike Hardman for a 4th. Trade between New Jersey and Boston. Mitchell Chaffee for a 5th. Toronto, Edmonton. Jeff Skinner for Morgan Riley. Wow. Morgan Riley gets traded to the Edmonton Oilers after winning the Stanley Cup. The Conn Smythe winning Morgan Riley gets traded. Wow. For a 2nd and Jeff Skinner. Okay. That was weird. Hopefully it works out for both of them. The Prospects Tournament. Here's the top players in the tournament. If you want to look at that, you can. Anaheim, Montreal. John Gibson gets traded to Montreal with Texier for Alex Newhook and a 6th. Zach Boldush and Andrei Kuzmenko. St. Louis, Calgary. New Jersey and Nashville. Brian Hallinan for a 5th. And the last trade between New York and Montreal. Adam Edstrom for a 3rd. That is a very good player right there. And let's go ahead and sim one more day to September 1st. So here we are Monday, September 1st with the emails, top selling jerseys. Of course, it's always going to be Connor Hellebuyck. Our development report, Sissons down, Josh Morrissey down, nothing bad there. And Hellebuyck still 2nd leading jersey sale for August. Anything else? Trade between Toronto and Montreal. Toronto trades Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Montreal for a 4th. New Jersey, Vancouver, Stefan Nosen, and Ottawa, New York, Mike Amadio for a 3rd. And we're going to go ahead and check the schedule. We do have a lot of home games, so just so we don't lose any money, we're going to set this back to no change. Our scouting still at 5, and our morale is at a +3. And scouting, no tournament, so we're just going to leave that go. But we are going to go back to August and check out the Prospects Tournament. We won 3-0, 3-0, 4-3, and 2-1. Nice. So that was a very good for us. We don't need to really check the stats on that, but I just wanted to see how we did. And we are going to sim up to the preseason September 5th. Just in 4 days. Over here, September 3rd, we do have some more trades. Ryan Lomberg between Toronto and Vancouver. Toronto and Vancouver. David Camp for a second. Toronto, Vancouver. Joseph Wall for a sixth. And we're going to sim up to the first game of the preseason versus Columbus. Over here at the preseason, we have a trade between New Jersey and Nashville. Mikel Diate for a fourth. And Cole Perfetti out of shape. Going to go ahead and criticize him internally. Hopefully he doesn't get too mad. And before we go ahead and sim the preseason, I'm going to go ahead and set the ratings for our new players and change the tactics. So I'll bring it back for the first game versus Columbus when I'm done. We're back here. I've gone ahead and taken care of the lines and the tactics, but as you can see again, like same as last season, I have brought up some of our good young players: Solomonson, Thornton, Kuzman, Barlow, Yeager, Chibrikov, and Lambert, and I have inserted them into the lineup to get some playing time this preseason through the first 3 or so preseason games just to see how well they do. But we're going to go ahead and sim a week and see what happens. We're back here. It has only been 1 day, but as you can see, we did beat Columbus in our first preseason game 4-2, so we'll look at that to see if any of our young players succeeded in that first game. But we do have some emails. Adrian Kempe is injured 1 to 2 months for the LA Kings. Makar out day to day. Colorado just cannot catch a break. No one could stop Bo Horvat. Salary cap reminder. That's okay. We don't have to worry about that. Boston and LA. Nick Seeler for a fifth. New York and Vegas. Mike Amadio for a third. Second time he's been traded this year. Klim Kostin for a fourth between San Jose and Philly. Washington, Nashville. Jeremy Luzon for a fifth. And players need to be assigned numbers. This I don't really care because they're all going back down to the minors in a week. So we're just going to go ahead and assign whichever jerseys they want. I don't really care if they're happy or not. And we'll delete all those. Let's have a look at this game and see who did what for us. Barlow with 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist. Nice. Connor Hellebuck at 951. So Barlow, 2 goals in the first period. That's pretty good. 20 years old. How did we do on the power play and the 0 for 4 on the power play? So here we go again. Same thing this year. But we're going to go ahead and sim up a couple days and we'll see what happens. Here we are on September 8th. We did lose 4-2 to Tampa, but we have some emails. A trade between Calgary and Toronto. Adam Bachfest for a second. So they get rid of Morgan Riley to Edmonton, and then they acquire Adam Bachfest. Probably a much, much cheaper contract, yes. So not too bad for them, I guess. Lucas Raymond, a great game, 4 points. Nick Waugh has a hat trick. And trade between, I think, Minnesota and Pittsburgh. Owen Pickering for Matt Zuccarello. Wasn't Matt Zuccarello the line mate of Kaprizov? Hopefully he succeeds without him. We're going to go to the line and start our backup goalie a couple games here. So 8th, 10th, 11th. And then we'll just go with the backup. And Connor Hellebuck will start the last game of the preseason for us. So we're going to go ahead and sim another week. And we're back. It is Saturday, September 13th. We do have some emails to go through here. Don't really care. Here's a trade, Calgary and Pittsburgh. William Stromgren for a third. And our training camp report. See if any of our young players grew. Colby Barlow, offensive read, face-offs, and shooting range. Nice. As a winger, I don't really care too much about face-offs. I would have rather have seen an offensive rating growth. Nikita Chibrikov, stick checking. Oh, that's not too bad. Could be a nice little two-way forward for us if he grows again. Dmitry Kuzmin, shot blocking and shooting accuracy. Not too bad. Shot blocking 11. I wish it would have been checking or hitting one of those other defensive categories, but we'll take it. Any kind of growth is really good. Brad Lambert. Face-offs and shooting range are about the only thing that went up well for him. But he is pretty good offensively already. Looks like he could be that center playmaker for us. Yep. Yeah, pretty good stats. In 2 to 3 years, he'll be ready. Chaz Lucius, checking went up by 2, shooting range up by 2. So checking and shooting range, not too bad. He's going to have a good year, I think. Brad Lambert, Lucius, Cole Perfettino, Solomonson, offensive and defensive read. Oh, there we go. Offensive and defensive read, not too bad. Let's see who else. Hudson Thornton, positioning. Okay, not too bad. They're already pretty well defensively, so that positioning will help out his defense. I'm happy with that. And Braden Yeager, screening, stamina, team player, nothing really too good there. So, and then a bunch of minuses on the older players. So let's go to the season tickets. We sold 15,000 tickets, and they are pleased with that. Luxury boxes were 43 of 55. They're pleased. And the season ticket announcement, you can go ahead and look at this. And we're there, the Winnipeg Jets, at almost 11,000, so that's pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and sim a few more days to the waivers. So here we are on Monday, September 15th, and I made the mistake of not putting in all of our starters, which I hope that doesn't hurt us to begin the season. But we do have some trades here. Michael Buchinger for a second. San Jose, New York. Igor Chernyshov for Daniel Sprong. And we'll delete all those. So now we will go and replace the lines with the starters. And we're going to go ahead and send these players back down to the minors. Hopefully they have a better season than last year. But I think just like us, the morale really killed their season because they had way too many good players to not succeed. I think they were only a few games over 500. So Yeager, you guys did well. Lambert and Nikita Chibrikov. We did have a huge win in here somewhere in the preseason. 8-3 against Chicago. Let's see who did what there. Faxa, Niederreiter, Lucius, 2 goals. That was good. Colby Barlow with his 3rd goal. Redick, Faxa, Lucius, Brad Lambert with his 4th goal. Nice. And Henrique. So that was our big win of the preseason, but we're back to $78 million. No one is injured, so we're going to go ahead to waivers. And we'll see if there's anyone that we can pick up. A trade between Utah and Edmonton. Kevin Connaughton for a 6th. Anyone? Yeah, I'm not worried about either of those 2 players for waivers, so let's go ahead one day. See if there's anyone to pick up. Here we are at the waivers. All the players, will sort through them in the waivers screen. We could, if there is a goalie, we might be able to get rid of Eric Comrie for a young stud goaltender who's a backup. Carter Hart, Cam Talbot. No, way too much. I know he is very controversial in real life, but it is a video game. This player here, Bogdan Kanyoshev. Bogdan Kanyoshkov. Not too bad. We could get him as our replacement defenseman. Beecher, Elmer Soderblom. No. We are going to go ahead and get Yanis Moser. There we go. What's his contract? $4 million? No. Let's wait on that. I forget what player I just said. Here we go. Bogdan. Let's get him as our defenseman. We're going to let Yanis Moser go. So we'll claim him. Let's look at the goalie, see if there's anyone to replace Comrie. I think we might just stick with Comrie. So let's go ahead and look at forwards, see if there's anyone we can pick up here. Who is this? Brendan Brisson. Oh, there we go. That's definitely it. We're going to get him. Only $1 million for 3 years. Yep, Brendan Brisson. See if we can actually pick him up. Who is this? John Beecher. That would be very good for us. Very cheap contract. Let's go ahead and see if we can get John Beecher. And those are the 3 waiver claims we're going to try to pick up. So we'll sim ahead one day. So here we are. Let's first see if we actually got those players. And we did get Beecher and Brisson. So we will assign numbers. You want 17? I don't think so. Adam Lowry gets that number. You can be number 71. The reverse. There you go. And he seems fine. That's good. And you can have number 9. Seems fine with it. That's good. NHL preview. Connor Hellebuck again. One of the front-running goaltenders for the Vezina. We had a trade. Jack Pert for a third between Minnesota and New York. And anyone else here? Beecher, Flames. Nope. So we're going to delete those. And let's have a look at our team. So Beecher and Brisson. We did not get the defenseman, but that's okay. So Beecher. We will actually set training for Beecher as defensive. So hopefully he can grow physical and a little more defensive player. We're down to 16. That's not good. Brendan, Carlo, and Peak will remove those. And who is the other one? Wait. Brisson was offensive. Whoops. Physical. Ooh, down to 16. There we go. And Beecher was physical and defense. Yep. His offense is only 16. Can we take away Chaz Lucia, Snow, Brisson, Perfetti? That sucks. Well, we're going to take a hit there. The physical... Mayfield, you don't need to be physical. You're 32 years old. You're not growing. So it looks like that's completes our training. Let's have a look at the harmony. And it is harmonious. I'm not going to intervene and risk messing that whole thing up. Data, we do have some really good draft picks. A first, second, 2/3, a fifth, 3, 6, 2, 7. 2 sevenths. And nice. So this is our team going forward. Our cap is at 80 million. We could have about $6 to $7 million if there's a trade we need for an injury replacement or anything along those lines. We're going to go ahead and sim one more day to opening night. And here we are. We'll check waivers one more time. Andrew Potteralski. Not too bad, but we're not going to claim him. Some of these names. This is our team. So we're going to leave it there on opening night, and I will see you in the next one.